When a law enforcement officer takes his oath and is given his badge and his gun, what are the odds of him using his pistol? You may think it's common for police officers to fire their guns.
Well, it's not, and it's also rare for an officer to talk about his decision to fire. But two officers spoke with our Ken Amaro.
Think that people think that, you have police officers out there that all they want to do is go out and shoot people.
It's not easy being a shooter.
It is rare to hear from a police officer who was involved in a shooting. For the first time, we're hearing from two retired JSO officers. Antonio Richardson graduated West Nassau High in 1982 and joined JSO in 1987. He says being a police officer is a lifelong dream.
Joe, I love being a police officer. I love the service.
Kim Varner graduated Sandalwood High in 1980, joined JSO in 1984. Varner comes from a family of law enforcement officers, his father and two brothers, and wanted to follow their footsteps.
There's nothing glamorous about being involved in a shooting.
They both worked in narcotics, the dark underworld of drug buys and guns. Combined, the two officers were involved in 15 shootings.
It's something that you don't want to talk about.
Varner was involved in 6 shootings. Richardson was involved in 9. In your 9 shootings, how many have died?
The one.
What was that like?
The aftermath of shooting someone, there's always, what could I have done? You play the scenario over and over again, and I live with that because this was in my old neighborhood that I grew up in, and I knew the young man, I knew his family.
What is it like when you have to use your service weapon and a life is lost?
And only in one of my shootings, someone lost their life. This guy was getting ready to take us out, and we just, we're protecting ourselves first of all, and I felt justified in what I was doing.
Their shootings were ruled justifiable, but never forgotten. If I'm hearing you correctly, there's an emotional burden.
Yes, that's an emotional burden. And for me, it's a big emotional burden because I am a believer. I'm a man of God. And at the time, I was just going into ministry. So I'm wondering, Lord, did I do the right thing? What could I have done?
One of my shootings, the guy ended up losing his leg. He had his leg amputated. And, I constantly think about that person has a family.
There is the emotional burden, the intense scrutiny from the police review board, and the impact it takes on an officer's judgment the next time.
First night back in patrol, here I am in a position where, okay, nothing should happen. I'm on the midnight shift. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. What could possibly happen? And here come a kid come running across my police car shooting at another kid. Now, a week or so, a month or so, I forgot how long it was, I've already been involved in a shooting where a kid dies. So now another kid comes running, shooting right across my police car. I mean, right in front of the police car. I jump out, I'm chasing the kid, and the kid falls down between some houses in a dark alley. I see the gun, I tell him to drop the gun, the kid will not drop it. I'm thinking, if I shoot this kid, am I gonna be justified? Is this the right thing to do? Should I wait a little longer? And I waited. And the kid saw my hesitation, and he jumps up and he runs between some houses. And when I chase him, he opens fire on me, and I can feel the bullets going past my head. I hesitated. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that I was right, and hesitation, that split second, could cost your life.
Why talk about their experience now?
I'm doing it now to bring awareness to people that officers are human. It's nothing glamorous.
So I know there are bad officers out there. I know there are some bad shootings. But my message to the community would be to get the full story.
Richardson retired in 1999. He is now in full-time ministry as the bishop of New Life Evangelistic Center. Varner retired in 2010. He now works as an investigator with the Public Defender's Office.
We have families too. We have, we have parents, wives, kids. We want to go home just like everybody else.
Ken Amaro, First Coast News, on your side.